right, man. How you doing?
Very good. Hope you too.
Yes, sir. It was the
Uh,
first sunny day after weeks or months, I feel like today. So
Okay.
that was very interesting. How's the weather in Salzburg?
Yeah, it's very nice. It's very warm these days. This week we had sun every day, and yeah, it was actually a little bit too warm. The snow was melting, but on the weekend we got some powder again, so
Oh,
it's all good.
I'm jealous, man. I'm jealous, but I might hit the Alps up very soon, hopefully,
Yeah,
and then see how the
that's
snow is.
Switzerland. Huh?
Yeah, I'll try Switzerland since the borders are a little easier there to cross than I think
Yeah,
Austria. So
you said it's no problem at all. I was wondering.
yeah, they so far they said that it shouldn't be a problem, but we'll see how that goes.
Yeah,
So
well,
you're
the
skiing pretty much.
Swiss government is free. It doesn't.
Yeah. Well,
There's nobody to tell them what to do, so they do what they want, which is good.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's easier that way, I think. So you're skiing pretty much every day, huh?
Uh, yeah, when I can, when the conditions are good, because I live here, it's like the lift is 90 seconds away. So I have the luxury to decide every morning if I go or not, if the conditions are nice.
Yeah.
And mostly I care for good fresh powder.
Yeah, that's perfect then. All right, before we skip ahead, yeah, maybe you kind of want to quickly introduce yourself, maybe your whole name, your age, and what you do.
Yeah, I'm Tim Steiner. I'm 35 years old. I live in Austria since 2016. I'm originally from Germany, but we decided to move here because we can and we love it. And yeah, we're basically self-employed and yeah, running several kind of businesses. And our main business is in network marketing, referral marketing.
Cool,
Yeah,
cool.
that's it basically.
Sweet. Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's everybody's dream, kind of, because there's always this debate going on between, if you want to have a lot of money, you got to work a lot, and then you don't have time. And if you want to have a lot of time, then the money is going to be a little less. So I think the main goal here is I'm pursuing the same one is to have both time and money, just because money is
We
also
call it freedom.
exactly, yeah, defining for
Yeah.
yourself.
Uh,
Exactly. So do you think that you already, I mean, now you're really successful on different levels. You're living your life with your family. You became a father, what, 2 years ago now?
Yeah, nearly 2 years. Yeah, in
Yeah.
March 2019. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And what we were figuring when you were in school, I mean, that's now a little longer ago. What were your plans going to school? And like, what did you think about the job world in general?
Uh, yeah, I just can tell you, right? Like my time at school was like I didn't like it at all, you know. So I grew up like with my mother, and she was like working a lot, and so I kind of grew up my like not I wouldn't say alone. That sounds like wrong, but you know what I mean. Like I always had to be kind of being yeah
Self-dependent.
exactly self-depending, doing my own thing, and I also grew up with the mentality, not like to obey and like to be a free person, and of course, I mean, it's a good thing now, but of course, as a young person in school, whereas they teach you actually the exact opposite, just to listen and to do what is told to you. It's tough, and so that's why I've like always had struggled a lot in school. Actually, most people say they really loved childhood and they found it harder to grow up. For me, it's the opposite. It was like always the opposite. It's not like, oh, I hated my childhood, but it was like always looking forward to grow up, to being grown up, doing what I want, and like, um, yeah, being kind of free. That's what I expected, when I was young.
Yeah,
And
yeah. I
yeah,
get
so
it. I mean, I feel the same. I mean, I'm now 21, so I'm still. I mean, we're both still pretty young, I would say. But I think
mm,
that when you're a child, you're just limited in so many ways, which I think is good because you kind of need to be protected. But I feel like, especially talking about the school system, there's a lot of limitations, and in general, I
yeah,
think a lot of things being
okay,
taught.
you can be protected and still being like free and let's say unique, you know.
Yeah.
But what happens in school is like they put you in blocks and make you fit somewhere, you know.
Yeah.
Like I talked to a friend yesterday, or to yeah, like someone I met, and 10 days ago, so quite new. And yeah, then she said in the school it's like the opposite, because how do you say, they teach you like to strengthen your weaknesses, you know, and
Yeah.
forget about your strengths, you know.
Yeah.
And that's like actually wrong, you know, telling,
Yeah.
yeah, you're good at this, you can leave it by the side and just now we're looking for what you can do, and we're gonna work on this. But this is like, in my opinion, a total waste of time, you know.
Yeah, I think you should focus on your strengths and try to
Yeah,
strengthen
exactly.
those even more, because I feel like that is what makes a person unique, right? Because naturally, some people are better at things than others, and at some things they're just worse at than others. But I think that's how it should work. And I think that
Yeah,
a lot of things should happen to the school system around the world, because there's always those memes where they have a person, and then the school is like a press that puts this like educational hat on them and breaks their light, their creativity, and they
yeah.
come out looking the same as the other people coming out on the other side. And I feel like
It's
sometimes,
it's
yeah,
very weird, because like for especially like in the States, where there's all this how do you say,
the
this
extracurricular activities.
yeah, for like sports. And when you find somebody who's talented in some sports, they say, hey, you train this. And
Yeah,
like in the physical way, you're like your strengths get like you see, how do you say, worked on, you know. But
yeah,
like in all the mental things, it's like the other way around. They tell you, oh, you're bad at math, do more of this, you know, and
yeah.
forget the things good. So it's like kind of contradictionary, you know.
Yeah, I'd totally say so.
Yeah,
Definitely. But like at the end of the day, I don't know. Maybe it's said too much, but I feel like sometimes they're more like trying to put you into a system, because maybe they're afraid that, if you exploit or explore your true self or your true unique skills, that there won't be a system that will function for everyone at some point, which I think is
yeah,
ridiculous, but I don't know.
exactly.
I
Doesn't
can
doesn't make sense, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I can totally identify with what you said, because I had the same feeling growing up, that I was like, okay, like the Abitur is like, like graduating high school is like the first step you kind of want to take. And then you think, okay, if I'm done with that, I can kind of start choosing my own way, because as of right now, everyone is going the same way. And
Exactly.
yeah, then it's your choice if you're going to stay in the system, or if you're an adult and you're old enough to make your own choices, and then that you actually do that. All right. So
Exactly.
what did you actually do then after you were done with school?
Yeah, I mean, I mean, of course, like I had expectations. You know, I knew always I need to be some kind of businessman, self-employed. You know, like of course, I mean, every young boy is like dreaming about, I want to make money and things like this. That's why I call it expectations. You know, not goals, because like there was no for a very long time I didn't do anything to reach that kind of. You know, I was wasting my time a lot, and yeah, doing like, yeah, nonsense. I mean, not nonsense, you know. I was also traveling a lot, you know, finding myself and calling stuff. But let's say nothing like, I didn't really work on myself and to get closer to that goal, you know, for a
Yeah.
long time. I just studied as a kind of uh, time cushion, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you
Just to
study
do
with no,
something.
I just study to until so I do something
Yeah.
kind of useful until I find the thing for me, or what fits, you know, to find my business, to find, you know, anything the way that I wanted to find, you know.
Yeah. But I think like that's also a part of finding yourself. And then but I feel
True.
like that is a soft difference in the sweet spot where you really got to make the decision. Am I going to study something now just so I don't know, I can satisfy the people around me? Like for example, my parents, there's always this sentence like do something that makes sense, where I'm like, who defines what makes sense
Yeah,
and what doesn't, right? It's
true.
individual to everyone. And
Yeah.
so, yeah, what was
I mean,
it that you
everything
were
happens
studying?
for a reason, you know, but
What?
Yeah, like I think everything happens for a reason, you
Yeah,
know.
definitely.
But still, I would say like I wasted quite some years in, but yeah, and, like in retrospective, it was like everything
Purpose.
uh, his purpose, you know.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
that makes
this,
sense.
if you don't win, you learn, you know. So,
So I take it that in school or just in general, you were always kind of like you didn't like authority, like you didn't like it when
yeah, never,
someone
never,
told
no,
you
no,
what
no.
to do.
Still not, you know. I'm like, yeah, I'm totally like free. I don't like anyone telling me anything what to do, you
Yeah.
know. And yeah,
And how
I
do
mean,
you think? How do you
giving
think?
me lots of problems in the past, but you know, if you stay strong at some point, and I mean, you kind of need to do this to reach like freedom or whatever you define, or however you define freedom. But yeah, it's like not always easy, you know.
Yeah, of course. But I feel like it's especially for young people struggling with that. And I myself struggle with this hierarchical system. And I know I don't want to have that for the rest of my life. And then I think it's on you to find an option somehow to either become your own boss or to find that freedom within the system you're in or some way,
Yeah,
yeah, to define your own
yeah.
freedom, as you said.
I mean, I said this in another interview. In my life, I started many things and didn't finish it, you know. And like especially like in Germany, people say, "Oh, if you start something, you have to finish it, otherwise you're like a loser or whatever," you know. But I mean, it's kind of true. At some point, you have to finish things you start. But like I was always when I started something and I noticed like, it's maybe not for me. I really immediately went the other way and stopped it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think it's also good, like sometimes good to or important to acknowledge when you got a wrong way, and to
Yeah.
turn around and take the other way. Because too
Yeah.
many people like they do this their whole life, man. They're like, I know it's kind of I know I don't like it, but it's gonna get better. It's gonna get better at some point, and then they're dead. You know.
You're dead. Literally. Yeah. No, that's the truth though. And I
Yeah.
feel like, and then I
And it
feel like,
also it's also about balls, you know, to like to admit, that's wrong. Let's turn around, do things differently.
yeah,
Maybe also politics should take an example on this, you know. not
true
getting deep,
that. True
not
that.
getting more deeper into that, you know, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
obvious
Let's
these
not
days.
do that.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean sometimes, and I feel like especially now that situation with the whole pandemic and everything has shown if people really do what they feel dedicated to do, or if they really, start planning for themselves. Because for me personally, I think at the end of the day, we're all a society and we all kind of want to live together and help each other. But you're not going to be able to help someone else if you haven't taken care of yourself
that,
yet.
exactly.
You
Yeah.
know, and I think there's a lot of people out there, and there's plenty of jobs for those that put themselves out there in order to help other people, but actually they're just kind of, I feel like, compensating for the problems they have with themselves because they're
Yeah.
afraid to face them. You know what I mean?
That's very nice. Actually, I had a speech like 2 years ago. Did you take it actually from that?
No, 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 no.
From Stuttgart? Because yeah, where I said the same, you know, because I was like when I was 19 and life in Europe was kind of bothering me. I traveled to Africa and worked in a project, you know, kind of wanted to helping people, you know, but I found out like that exactly what you said, you know, that first before you can help somebody else, you got to help yourself, you know,
Yeah.
and exactly that's the point, you know. Many they they try to to how to say um,
Yeah, support others or
yeah, no, there's the point. I mean, which is obviously good, you know, but very often they do it to distract from their own problems, you know, because they're kind of running away from their own problems, you know.
yeah, yeah,
And so in the end, yeah, when you're clear with yourself and you help yourself afterwards, you're much more capable of helping others, I think, you know.
definitely. Yeah, I think now I remember though, that was like the first year I think I saw that. Now that you mention it, but it just came to my mind, that topic, because I've in the past weeks I'm always confronting myself with the topic of coaching and keynote speaking, like everything that is around the mind. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I feel like there's so many people. I talked to a friend about that call themselves coaches, you know, and
Yeah.
sometimes it's even confused with like the athletic coach. And it's just like those people, they want to coach you, they want to be your mentor just because they had a moral epiphany or something, and then they
Yeah,
feel
exactly.
obligated
Yeah.
to
I
tell
know
you.
many of these people. Yeah. So yeah. I mean, many, yeah, exactly. Many they have problems themselves, and they're like, I mean, which is good. They're like kind of dealing with the problems, and they're like trying to get out and helping other people, but they're not even remotely ready for that, in
Yeah.
my opinion. You know, and it goes through all branches. You know, be it sports coaches, you know, be
Yeah.
it like money coaches, you know, talking about investments, being poor. You know, I mean, it's not nothing wrong about being poor or something, you know, but if you talk about something, you should have kind of at least made it a little bit, you know. And that's like a basic problem we have in our society, that most of the people that talk about something, they have no fucking clue about what they're talking, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, they haven't done
And
shit
even
yet.
and the worst thing is they're like confident, you know, about it even, you know. And that's like crazy. Like very often the people who really know their stuff, they're not very confident. They think like, oh, I have to get even better. Maybe I'm not good enough, you know. I'm already good, but maybe not good enough to show. And other people who don't know fuck all, they're like really, oh, I can tell everybody how it is, you know. And that's like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's like I think a
But I
big
think
problem.
at the end of the day, it doesn't only have to do with what you think about yourself, but also what people you surround yourself with. Because I
Yeah,
feel like that if this person that thinks, oh, I have to get better even though I'm good, we probably or she respectfully also would have a better situation or easier life, let's call it like that, if people close to him or her that he or she trusts will tell him or her that he or she does it good. You know what I mean? Or that there's maybe even things that they connected to, you know, that they build a
yeah,
union of, I don't know, sharing knowledge or supporting each other with the things they do. Because let's face it, as you said, you got to be strong enough to swim against that whole stream of everyone else until you know you've proved it to someone, you know, in order to keep going and not always be held back by someone or something.
yeah, yeah. That's a good point. I mean, first, I mean, what people you surround with is the most important thing, you know. Like Jim Rohn, famous businessman and motivation coach, a network coach, he also said you are the average of the 5 persons you spend most time with, you know, and
Yeah.
that's true. And that means like you need valuable relations, you know, good friends, very good friends, not many, but like very good friends, you know.
Yeah.
And that's like very important that they've like also that you're honest with each other, you know,
Yeah.
that you always like sometimes, I mean, even like fight about it, you know, which is important because I always used to say when you're like when you got somebody and you always when you got a friend and you're always the same opinion, one of you guys is useless, you know what I mean?
Yeah. The yes sayers. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, exactly, you know.
I don't think that works, and I feel like that is again another moment in which you really need to have that balance because
Exactly, the
people are,
balance. You know, you can't tell everybody like, ah, that shit. I mean, you have to really, I mean, bring people up, but still, you can be honest and still bringing people up.
yeah,
You know, be positive.
yeah,
You know,
honesty
but
that
if like
is important.
wrongly positive, it rather brings people down. You know.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. All right, so
But that's
going from there. Sorry, what?
but
What'd you
that's
say?
not easy, of course. You know, I mean, that's something also you have to learn.
Yeah, yeah, but I think that is already happening if you take some time for yourself also, because that's also something I realized this past year, that a lot of people, and I include myself into that, they always feel like they're only strong if they have another person in their life. But I feel like if you reach that point in which you know that if everyone would leave me, you know, it doesn't matter if it's family, friends, or that person you're dating or whatever, but you're still confident because you're still here and you can do anything, you know you don't need anyone or anything else. And
Yeah,
I feel
true.
like that personally made me super, super strong or better than
Yeah.
the person to before.
Yeah, you're right. But I even though I don't know how I would be without all the important persons in my life, you know.
Of course, I mean, I mean, you don't want to have that situation, but I feel like,
Yeah,
especially
I know what
in,
you mean, yeah.
especially in those phases in which people are looking for those people that would fit into their life best,
Yeah,
and it's not always the people that were your first friends.
yeah,
Sometimes those are especially the people that you're not going to stay friends with forever because the interests are just way too far apart.
yeah,
Yeah. But talking about that, I mean, then people always, start taking other jobs and doing different things. What what did this, or do you actually think that the phrase work-life balance makes sense? I'm really curious on your
yeah.
opinion
That's like
about that
interesting
phrase.
topic, you know. I mean, yeah, like basically, I think it's invented by people who fucking hate their jobs, you know, and kind of need their balance. And um, yeah, but then on the other side, very often I also think, I mean, I love what I do, but very often I think, oh, fuck off, everybody, you know, I want my free time, you know, get off the phone, do this. So, but I think that's like kind of normal.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, but basically you should really um, go for something where you don't really need that, you know,
Yeah.
not like, yeah, like many people working for the weekend, being happy in the
For the next
weekend,
holiday. Yeah.
and Sunday my life sucks shit, tomorrow's Monday, and then, you know, like, yeah, that's, I don't know, that's not what life is meant for, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. Always just living for that one moment.
Yeah,
Yeah,
uh,
but I think that's also got to do, as you said at the beginning, with balls. To realize, okay, I don't like this. I don't want to work for the weekend or work for those 30 days off in a year in order to be traveling or whatever you want to do. I want to change that. But then you got to stand by that opinion and do whatever you
yeah,
can to
true.
achieve that.
And depends what you do. People might find it funny or might find it weird, you know. And it's like, and then yeah, when people try to break out, they get looked at weird, and then they're like, I better go back in, you know.
Yeah, yeah. Fit
And
into the
yeah,
system
um,
again.
it's some kind of, yeah, you have to go through it. I mean, it's like the famous comfort zone, I think, you know, which occurs like kind of everywhere. It doesn't matter what you do. It is, be it job, be it personally, you know, private life, like relationship life, sports, hobbies, whatever. It doesn't matter what you wanna, anything what you wanna do, kind of successful
Yeah.
long term. You need to step out of the comfort zone a lot, you know.
Yeah, over and over again, I
Yeah,
think, in order to grow personally. And I mean, you find that everywhere, is what you said. Definitely. All right,
yeah,
coming to something else that I found really interesting, because I mean, we've known each other for a little bit now. How did
yeah,
we actually meet? I think it was in one of the events.
yeah. At some event, yeah, but I don't.
Yeah, and it was
I'm
through a
not.
friend of ours, Christopher.
Yeah,
Yeah, and then we just kind of kept in touch. Yeah,
exactly.
yeah,
Yeah,
cool.
because like-minded people do that. Yeah.
True that. Back in that
Uh,
like, yeah. Anyway, so I looked at your Instagram bio because
yeah,
we always text a little bit about Instagram, several different things, so similar interests like cars. And in your Insta bio, I don't know if it's still current, but I checked last week. It says traveler,
yeah,
world citizen, entrepreneur, Carnut, and lifestyler.
yeah.
Why did you choose that, and what does that kind of mean to you? Explain
What
those
exactly?
four parts to me. Well, like what we said, you travel the world,
Yeah, yeah.
art
I
right
like I
now.
like to travel. Yeah, I like to meet new people. You know, and I mean sometimes I really like to stay alone as well. You know, and being home and enjoying the calm when the
Yeah.
baby's not. And yeah, yeah. I've been traveling. I mean, that's it. This year or last year was a bit not so much traveling. But yeah, the next one, like, yeah, business, entrepreneur, business, you know, I really like that, you know, the whole building something up, building business up, building people up, you know, doing something, seeing something grow. It's
Yeah.
really nice. Yeah, like in any ways. Yeah,
And
and
what is this car nut? Because I can identify about 1,000,000% with that. And I think that only people that are crazy about cars can understand people that are crazy about cars. But
Yeah.
can you explain what it means to you? Like, I don't know, because for me, it's always I always try to explain it to people that, when I was a kid, I had those little Siku or Matchbox cars, and I had the carpet. There were roads on it. We were playing,
Exactly.
and I always thought like I want to drive this in order to like be a kid again or take it on the track or something, but not to like lean out of the window and be like, "Yo, everyone, look at me! I
Yeah,
have
I
a
see
nice
my
car."
car. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just
I
like
mean, yeah, yeah, that's similar. I'm like personally, I mean, I love nice cars, and like nice cars very often are a bit like extroverted, but usually it's like I'm not liking cars because other people think, oh, he's cool of that, and sometimes more when I drive through the city, it's rather like, yeah, I want to stay low.
yeah,
But it's just like this, if you're like, yeah, well, like I said, you can explain it. If you love cars, you love it, like the whole, it's also some kind of freedom, maybe some kind of, you're like operating like some manly thing, operating a strong tool.
yeah,
That's
it's a
kind of weird
passion.
how I put it now, but
Yeah, yeah, I
I
know.
know, yeah, like the whole thing, being loud, being crazy, like this things,
Exactly. Yeah,
smelling gasoline. Yeah, if you know, you know.
yeah. If you know, you know.
Like,
Do that.
yeah,
And what do you mean about lifestyler? How did
yeah,
that end up in there?
yeah. Because I like to own my life. I like to style my life how I want it. Yeah. Sometimes I thought it sounds a bit techy, lifestyler, maybe even in German, but yeah.
Well,
Actually,
about that, I feel like
I actually don't care too much, but I just wanted to transport like that I'm able to yeah yeah, style my life how I want it,
yeah, that you
to
were in
put it.
control.
And, yeah, man, exactly.
I've
Yeah.
actually never interpreted that word like that before, but it totally makes sense to me.
Yeah.
I
Because I
actually,
could have said, yeah, I control my life, and then sounds
yeah,
like
and
weird.
everyone would be
Because
like, "Oh,
controlling is like, it's like
great."
it's not a word I like.
Yeah,
And yeah, so you kind of style it.
yeah,
You
yeah.
want it
That's
like
cool.
this, okay, do it like this. Tomorrow you want like this, like other people style their hair. I mean, or their cars or whatever.
Yeah,
Like, yeah, I was always trying to not to fit in like boxes, like I said before,
yeah,
and try to yeah express that also.
yeah, yeah. No, I get it. And I think that is cool. And I talked to that about a friend of mine 2 weeks ago. We talked about all those words and phrases that are being used way too often without
Yeah,
people even
stationary,
thinking
yeah,
about what they mean. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And so I think it's always nice to see what happens if you put such a provocative word out there, what
yeah.
people, might say about it. And then now I think it's cool that how you interpret that for yourself. Definitely.
Yeah,
Cool. So can
good.
you actually talk about the businesses other than the network marketing that you do?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah, would be
Yeah,
interesting.
like mainly like I'm very interested in like investing, because it's always good. And I learned that kind of the hard way. I mean, I earned quite okay. I don't know what's a lot of money. Like there's billionaires out there, but I was like always like consuming it,
Hold
kind of
on, hold on,
recklessly.
hold
And
on.
yeah, sorry.
You got to restart at billionaires and just cut off again.
Yeah, because like yeah, what's a lot of money? So I was earning since quite some time. Um, okay, money for me, like more than I would need to live. So you can buy lots of stuff, and very a lot of stuff that I didn't need. And I mean, of course, cars, but this is what I need. But also besides that, I'm kind of wasting it. I was rather um, like living kind of day by day, didn't care for the future because I was always very confident about that. I won't have problems anyway because if something, yeah, I would always find a way. That was kind of my opinion.
Yeah.
I never really looked at money too much, and I always, I grew up. Also saying, not it was always hard for me to say money is important, because it's like I thought like it's wrong. So I didn't want to seem greedy and stuff. So I'm very like how do you say what is this word if you give away very easy and like how to
Yeah,
say.
if you just spend it, if you just throw it out the window, you
Yeah, and like also like yeah, and I'm very yeah, and I like to spend, you know. And then I read at some point I started reading, which I also never did. And at some point I read like Warren Buffett's biography,
yeah,
you know, and because it's yeah, I don't know why I thought should get more into that, you know, and I like to read biographies anyways. And it turned out that this dude, you know, who's like 80 billions, I think he's worth, he spends less money a month than me, you know, and I was like, oh, what the fuck, you know, I really felt kind of bad. I mean, this guy is like for that money he owns, he's like very low key, you know. He
yeah,
has like still the house of which he bought like in the 60s or 50s even, you know, and it was really kind of impressive, you know what I mean? It's like really that really put me kind of in the next level and made me think, you know, to yeah, to kind of treat um, the whole money better, you know, and the resources and stuff, you know, and really think about what I consume. Yeah, now since like 2 years I really do this, and really don't spend money if I really don't need it, you know. Of
yeah,
course, if I need a nice car or something special, you know, I see something, of course that's what I need, you know. But
yeah,
like many other things, like buying this here, this coffee here, this here, and like really try to be sensible, you know, and then really invest it, you know. And then with my best friend, he is like that's why we're here in Austria, because he's from Austria, and he has
mhm,
like a construction company, and he's like very doing a lot of like real estate businesses, you know. So I slowly went into that, and yeah, using the money I earned from my best investment, you know, from the network business, which is still for me like the best passive income source, you know, like also compared to others, like the easiest. It's not easy at all, but all in all, it's still the easiest, you know, if I compare.
yeah,
But yeah, so as my goal is like to um, really make a kind of create like a money cycle, you know, like to invest, to make more out of it, you know,
yeah,
just for, yeah, for the freedom, you know, because that's what money is in the end. It's freedom, you know, because you can earn a lot of money but you still can be free, you know, like if you spend too much, you know, then you're still like a kind of a victim, you know,
yeah,
of the whole system, you know. And this is what I didn't like, you know, because like yeah, then you lease a nice car, then you lease this and here, taking credit there, and then you can earn lots of money and still be fucked, you know. I mean, look how many, like there's like footballers that earn like millions, but if you're not sensible with money, you can earn whatever you want, you know. You're not gonna make it, you know.
yeah.
That's why like most of the people winning the lottery, they're like after some time most likely to be poorer than before, because they don't have that mindset, which is like very important in my opinion, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, I talked to
It's
that.
not about greed. It's not about make more.
Yeah.
But it's just like about treating it sensible, you know. And if you treat money sensible, it's not bad, you know.
Yeah, I feel like you just need to be smart with it and appreciate it.
Exactly.
I talked to Anya about that in another episode, and also privately, because she's working on a lot of things to kind of educate people about finances and money, because let's be honest, if you don't have that from home, like from your parents or your surroundings growing up, you need to get it from somewhere. Otherwise, as you said, you're fucked. Because she always made that comparison of like this guy making $1 million a year, but he spends $1 million a year. He's
Even
as
more
rich as the
sometimes.
guy that
Yeah.
gets paid by the government because he doesn't have a job and he spends all of it. They're as rich as the other guy, and that's
Exactly.
why
Yeah.
I think mindset comes first, and only then you will understand how to deal with money and how, yeah, definitely to appreciate it and to
Exactly.
use it for your advantage. Yeah,
Yeah. And
definitely.
that makes you really. That yeah, gives you power. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. And power, again, coming back to that word, to lifestyle, to style your own life, or to be in control of what you want to do, you know,
uh,
getting up every day.
Yeah, exactly. Like there was one phase. It's like 3 years ago. I wanted to lease another car because I liked it, you know. And then some woman from the bank said, "Oh, I don't know if it's gonna work." It's like, "Oh, what the fuck, you know? You see what I earn? Like, are you talking to me?" You
Yeah.
know? It's like, "Yeah, but you have this and this and here and there," and like, and that's like, yeah, feels like humiliating, you know what I mean? Yeah, and I started to think about that, you know, and
Yeah.
like really, I think yeah, really try to. It's like being a gym for. I compare it like with having a healthy body, you know, like being fit, being kind of ripped, you know, and it's also like kind of I try to be like in good shape the whole year, you know. And then what I do is like I really when I want to eat some sweets, I said no, not today, you know, but maybe tomorrow, and then or maybe and then I say no, then the day after or something. And then at some point I eat it, but then there was like I have enjoyed much more, you know, and the
Yeah.
result is much better because I said no many times, you know, and it kind of made me stronger, you know. Or like with running, you know, I said, I fucking hate running. I don't want to run now. It's -10, -15 degrees out there,
Yeah. Saw
you
the
know.
picture.
Yeah, yeah.
Crazy. What was
And
it?
then
Negative
at the point you do
25?
it and you feel well, it's also everything is kind of an investment, you know. That's what investment mean. You stop doing what you want now to have more what you want to do in the future, you know.
Yeah.
And that's what's really nice, and that's what makes you strong. It gives you discipline, you know,
Yeah.
and that what makes you better. Yeah, in all parts of your life, in my opinion. You
Yeah,
know.
I think you just built the perfect bridge. Because I want to quickly again talk about this term of passive income, because I think that is also something that as much as of talking about money or stocks or real estate or whatever, they're really afraid to even think about it. But I feel like especially now during this pandemic where people realize, man, life can be over so fast. No matter if you're talking about, dying or getting sick or you're losing a
Yeah.
job already sucks, you know? And then if you have a passive income, you can get by way better, and just because you have more options and your risk is kind of spread over different terms, you know?
And the more you build up before, the more you can, yeah, as bad as it sounds, benefit from crisis at this, you know.
Yeah.
Because that's what, yeah, for me, I had really the last year, when I think about it, I had the best year of my life. I read like 40 books. I was like in the shape of my life because I used the time wisely, you know.
Yeah.
And I mean, I was not scared. I mean, there was some scary, I mean, I'm talking like all about like money things and stuff, you know, because like all the stock market crash, you know, and you think like, oh, what the fuck happens here, you know. But then you have to be, yeah, you have to be, how to say, brave, you know, and go through it.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's what I prepared the year before, that I could really, yeah, completely benefit from that, you know.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
what's, yeah, crisis. Like they say that the Chinese symbol for crisis means, what is it? Chance and opportunity or something, huh? I
Yeah,
forgot.
yeah, yeah, true. That's right. Yeah, I mean, it's always how you interpreted things and how
Yeah.
you take them for their advantage.
Uh,
I really like that once you said, I think it was in a bigger Zoom that we were all in together, that you said the Netflix paradigm.
Netflix paradigm, yeah.
Yeah, Netflix
Yeah.
paradigm. I always that's stuck in my head. Yeah, you want to quickly introduce that thought behind that?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, the Netflix paradigm is like the people nowadays, because nowadays obviously they have many opportunities, and for many people there's like, I mean, they have opportunities that they were not there in the past, you know, because you didn't have many chances to do anything. But now there's so many. The world got so open. I mean, not this year, but usually got so open, so many possibilities that people always wait, you know, and then they wait and they think, I have this possibility now, but maybe I find something better tomorrow, and then to go tomorrow, and I like got this metaphories, you say,
Metaphor.
from, I called it metaphor. I called it the Netflix paradigm. Is like when you open Netflix and you think, okay, let's see what I gonna watch today, you know, and then you think, oh, that looks nice, that's a cool series, but let's wait, let's maybe I find something better, you know, and better, and then you sometimes end up, or at least I ended up watching trailers the whole fucking evening, you know, and I didn't see anything, you know, and that's like a metaphor, you know, because people like they don't want to commit to anything, and I think maybe something comes better. And I mean, doesn't only necessarily be about jobs, but can also be relationships, you know, like, oh, I have this really nice girlfriend now, she's perfect, but maybe I find something better, so I'm not getting into it. And at some point, you know, you have to live your life, you know, and because it might be over quick, you know. And yeah, that's what's the yeah, what's the meaning of the Netflix paradigm, you know? Take
Yeah.
your chances, commit to them, you know, and do it, you
Yeah,
know.
that's awesome. I when you said that the first time, I thought it made so much sense, and I also kind of like it goes into a little it's a bit of different direction, but I think you could also connect it to the Netflix paradigm. Is that you now will see after this whole pandemic is over, it kind of like everyone will come out of a tunnel, and you will see what person stuck to their goals or still kept working for what they want to do in life, no matter if it's relationships or health, or
Yeah,
businesses or whatever, and the people that only sat on the couch and watched Netflix all day long. So
yeah. Like
that's
the
also.
government said, stay at home, sit on the couch, watch Netflix, you're a hero.
Yeah, exactly.
Idiots, man.
All
So,
right, coming
yeah,
coming
but
coming to, you wanted to say something still?
yeah, I forgot. I forgot now. Yeah,
Maybe we'll come back in a second.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, coming to the final stretch of this I love this conversation because I think we have been talking quite some time every now and then about different situations, and I this is our goal with this podcast to talk to people that we know have done amazing things, and I think are really inspiring to others. I mean, I know that you inspire a lot of people in Germany or in the world, and friends of
Thank you.
yours. And yeah, I'm glad that we kind of got this connection, this friendship, and
Yeah,
that I
man.
can also learn from you.
Likewise.
And
And
for
you,
me, what's that? Sorry.
and I can learn from you. You can
Oh
all,
yeah,
do it, you know. That's,
yeah, true that. I mean, I think you never stop learning, no matter how old you are. And that's the last thing I want to talk about today with you is what really inspires me already at 21 is the difference of now seeing how you and Lisa, your now that is really embarrassing, your wife or your girlfriend?
girlfriend.
Girlfriend, right? I wasn't sure.
Yeah,
So
at some points to be wife, you know, because I can't let her go. She's
yeah,
perfect.
no, totally. Yeah, no, you guys are perfect. No, but I was gonna
To
say
be
that.
smiling weirdly, you know.
Yeah, it's always awkward. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it'll be awkward. No, it'll be awkward in a second. We'll be over. No, but what I
Yeah.
actually wanted to talk about, I mean, I can kind of see how your kid grows up. You guys sometimes you put some videos on Instagram or something. Where I saw him live when we were in Mallorca last year, also with
Yeah.
Gabi, your mother. She obviously being super proud. And what I saw from that was that you always say you style your life. So that also means you can get up most of the time whenever the fuck you want, which
Yeah.
in that case means you can always choose when to spend time with your son. And what I
Yeah.
realized, and now I'm going to make a big comparison here, is I always compare you, Liam, and Lisa to Jon Olsen and his wife and his son, who
Okay.
got my name, Leon. And
Yeah.
what I see
Lucky
on
boy.
both families was that,
Lucky boy.
well, and what I always see is that those two boys, Liam and Leon, always seem to be super happy. Of course, kids cry, but I feel like that you can really see in the way that this kid behaves and that you behave with him, how big of a difference that is in comparison to what a lot of families nowadays do, which I also understand. They give their children away to, the kindergarten or a nanny or
Yeah.
something because they have to make a career or they have to make a living. But I think that then reflects on their kids at some day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
No. I mean, I like first. I like that comparison. Very cool.
yeah, shout
Love
out to
to
Jon
know them.
Olsen if he ever hears this.
Lisa follows. What's her name?
Yanni.
Yanni. Yeah, yeah, and yeah, we also watched a lot of things there, and they're really
Vlogs.
cool. Thanks for the comparison. Yeah, we try to be uh, as cool, you know, even though like more let's say less exposed, you know.
Yeah.
What kind of person you prefer? I mean, not everything you can do what you want. So, but yeah, it's I think that's really important. I mean, yeah, how to put it. I think it's an attitude thing, you know, because when you started, I wanted to say, yeah, because we're not working, we are like at home, but we work a lot, and also it's also sometimes stressful, you know, and I get mad, Lisa gets mad, you know, but still I think there's some certain attitude, like bass attitude, you know, bass vibration, you know, that's like very positive
Yeah.
and how do you say, supportive, you know, and I think that's like very, very important, you know.
Yeah.
And like even when there's shit days, you know, ending it positive, you know.
Yeah.
And yeah, like you said, it's not always good. I mean, of course, you don't put the bad things on Instagram, you know. And why would you even, you know? Why would you put a bad mood? I mean, some do it and think like, why the fuck, you know? No, it's. I think that's like, yeah, it's made to transport positive things, you know, not negative things. And so, but that's the disadvantage of it. It's like sometimes it transport like not the whole picture, you know. And
Yeah.
so people think, oh, it's like always everything is perfect, you know. And sometimes you get like even mad when people say it because maybe you have a shit day, and then the people think, ah, why you complain? It's always perfect what you have, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, but that's like a little small downside, you know. But yeah, as you said, really, I'm really proud that I can spend a lot of time with the boy, and of course my girlfriend, you know. And yeah, we really embrace that, you
Yeah.
know. Of course, that's he. I mean, he's the boss. You know, it's not like in the past. It was very important for me, like not to start with an alarm clock. You know, and now, I mean, I still don't use an alarm clock. My alarm clock is 10 kilo and blonde and got blonde hair. It's louder than any usual alarm clock. You know.
Yeah.
So yeah, but it's epic time, and like really proud to be able to spend lots of time with him. You know, to transport our values and yeah, of course, and for the future, you know, to make everything possible for him what I didn't have, what I wanted to, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah,
That's
it's
great,
gonna
man.
it's gonna be cool.
I bet. I bet. Yeah. All right. I think this is a perfect ending for this podcast episode. Thank you for being here with me, for
Yeah,
taking
man.
the time.
Thank you for having me. Really
Yeah.
proud. Awesome.
Of
Cool.
course. All right. Well, enjoy your night,
Yeah,
and
man.
we'll talk
Julia,
soon.
talk to you later.
All right.
Bye.